So we look at the 12 steps and we say, this is a position that we can see from. It's linear, right? It's linear. It's not open to debate. It's not there to be interpreted, but it's there to be taken to heart just as it is. And that provides you a foundation to see from. A foundation to see from. Now, a lot of things you're not going to see until you've stepped up to the foundation. Because, see, if you're in the shit, you're not going to see that because there's shit in your eyes. But if you stand up, if you stand up out of the shit and stand on the foundation, then you see the shit for what it really is. In hindsight, right? In hindsight, you see it. Because, and the reason you have to see it in hindsight is because you just don't see it when you're in it. You just don't see it when you're in it, right? Now that's seeing things in hindsight, and that's one way this works. Okay. Now there's also this thing called insight. Insight, and insight is like this. Insight is you see the shit coming, right? You see that you're going. You see where you're at. This is about the present moment, right? This is about the present moment, and you see what you're in now. You see the whole scope. You see the whole picture, and therefore, if you're heading into that shit, you see it before you're in it, and you're able to see it before you're in it because you're not in it yet, right? You're not in it yet, and your eyes ain't full of shit, right? You're not in it yet. But once you're in it, you're not going to see, and that's the way this thing works. Once the ego takes over, you don't know you're taken over by the ego, okay? So there's insight. There's seeing that you're going into the shit before you're in the shit, okay? And then there's also a thing called foresight, right? Where you're seeing what's before you. You're seeing what's before you. You can see where it's not a matter of telling the future. That's not really what foresight really is, right? It's not so much a telling of the future, but it's seeing this. It's the realization of this. Where you're at now is a result of what you've stepped out from, right? What you stepped out from. So if we want to know where our thinking is going to take us to, where our habitual thinking is taking us to, what we believe now, what notions we hold dear now, where that's taking us to is going to be no different than where we're at right now. So when we can see where we're at right now in the whole scope, we can see where we've come from, and then and where we've come from and where we're at. That's the direction that the notions and beliefs are leading us to, okay? And we can see now that based on where we're at now, if we continue to hold to those notions and beliefs, they're not going to take us anyplace different. They're not going to take us anyplace different. And then all of a sudden it's like Groundhog Day, the movie. You just keep waking up in the same old shit over and over and over and over, you know? But if we can inquire and we can practice contemplation and meditation, and we can look at what we're into now, and then look at what we believe right now, and what we've believed that's brought us to this, then we have a choice. And then the future is more workable. It's more flexible because we don't have to go that route if we see it. You see what I mean? And so this whole thing is all about seeing. This is what awakening is about. This is what enlightenment is about. It's about seeing and realizing where you are at compared to the whole of life, where you're at. And that way, and if your head's someplace else, like where you want to be based on those desires that come from them beliefs, well, you're not really here. So there's this presence of mind and heart that anchors you to the reality of the moment, that allows you to be present as a presence in the present. I'll say that again. That allows you to be present as a presence in the present. That allows you to see things as they really are. As they really are. And what happens, according to the scriptures, the Christian scriptures, when we see Jesus, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. If we want to see Jesus as he is, we have to be present where he's at. And where he's really at is right here, right now. Namaste.